Well, it's a new week, and Snowmageddon is now in our past. We got somewhere between like 15, 18 inches of snow, which isn't a whole lot for where we live up here, but they ended up closing everything on Monday, and the roads were okay. I went out without a problem. Roads were actually pretty clear. But the storm was all over the country, kept a lot of people home, and I'm guessing that's why I got so many decent sales over this, the period of the storm. So let's go over the sales that came through, and then we'll go back in time to a video I recorded, I don't know, a day or so ago of a few things that sold out of the Ephemera store. So if you're into board games, you know that this little piece here goes to Fireball Island. And I picked this up at a garage sale that had lots of like really old primitive stuff. And for whatever reason, there was a random Ziploc bag with all of like the cards and the player pieces for Fireball Island. And they're worth a lot of money, some of them. This one took the longest to sell. There's actually one other ladder left. But it sat for quite a while and it ended up selling for $17.99 plus shipping. Some more blades here off the Diama brush wheels just sold, and this puts me well into the profit. This pays for everything from that auction and the gas to get there and back. But this little set here sold for $71.99 plus shipping. So this is a Desert Force patrol buggy, and I just picked this up at the thrift store like maybe a week or so ago. And next to it was a bag full of all these action figures. And some of them, I think some of them are the same company, but most of them aren't. And they weren't really worth a whole lot on their own, so I kind of just put it together as one lot. And the lot just sold for $29.99 plus shipping. The last of my Surefire flashlights just sold. And I'll put the picture up on the screen of this one. This came from an estate sale, and it was only, I think, $2 or $4. It's in pretty rough condition. It sat for a while, and I finally took an offer of $60 plus shipping. One of the beer steins sold. This is Cousin Emma. I believe Cousin Emma is a first edition. And when I ship these, what I typically do is I'll get either a sheet of cardboard or I'll fold up some bubble wrap like a couple times, and I'll place it here. I'll push this down, and then I'll shrink wrap the stein so that it doesn't clank around. But this one here, it sat for a little while, and it sold for $44.99 plus shipping. So this here was a mistake, but it sold, so I guess I can't complain, even though it didn't go for a whole lot. It says USCE. It's a compass. Came from an estate sale. I can't remember what I paid, but I think it was next to nothing. However, this compass is, well, you can see it's missing. It's missing a critical piece. So it did sit for a little while. I ended up taking an offer for $6.50 plus shipping. The final set of 3 of these little carousel windmill blades just sold. And out of all the sets that I've had and sold over the past, I don't know, maybe 2 to 3 months, I've netted about $70. So this is definitely one of those, and you can see there's even burn marks on them, which are in the photos. But this is definitely one of those deals where you'd rather part it out than sell the item as a whole, because the item as a whole used doesn't bring anywhere near that kind of money. But the final set here sold for $15.99 plus shipping. This came out of an estate sale, and it's been sitting for quite a while. It is for a Heatilator fireplace insert. And what that is, it's basically a giant metal box inside your fireplace where it pulls in cold air from the bottom. It heats it up because the firebox is hot from a fire, and then it pushes it through a top vent. And this one here has both fans, new old stock, and also in here it has the little vent covers. It sat for a while. I priced it high to begin with, and then it sat and sat and sat. And thankfully it sold here before winter's up, because in the summertime, these obviously aren't going to sell very well. But this one here ended up going for $75 plus shipping. Next piece that sold came out of a place I'm sure you're all familiar with, or sick of hearing me talk about, and that is the Private Pick House. It's a Triumph TR8 steering wheel. It's an original OEM steering wheel. It's got some cracks in the leather. It's been sitting for who knows how long, but it originally sold for $130 several days ago. Buyer never paid. That expired, and then someone sent an offer in, I think just yesterday or the day before, for $160 plus shipping. This is something I almost wanted to keep because I love this old school camping stuff, even though I don't even go camping. It's cool looking to me. But somebody, would probably want something like this to put on display in a car show in the back of their car from this time period. And am I going to be able to open this one-handed? Yes. So this is a J.C. Higgins. It's a cooler. Original lid, gasket, top. Inside doesn't look the best, but that's beneath the glass. That's actually the insulation below. So you want to be mindful of these when you buy them. Make sure the glass inside isn't cracked. So they're glass lined with insulation and then metal on the outside. And this came from a garage sale where I bought, if I have a picture, I'll put it up here. I bought a ton of vintage camping stuff. And let's just say I was the first one in line before this garage sale opened because they put it on Marketplace, and I was waiting, and I got everything that I wanted. But this piece here ended up selling for $79.99 plus shipping. All right, last time I'm going to say this in this video, I promise. This is from the private pick house. And I've got, let's see, after I sold this one, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, wait a minute, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 still sealed. This is the Lake Placid 1980 Olympics poster with Ronnie the Raccoon, copyright 1978, Amy Schneider. And because it's Winter Olympics season coming up, and because I'm, slimming down the inventory of these, I'm raising the price every time. And this one here, it just sold for $279.99. All right, let's do a couple pieces of ephemera. The store itself has been pretty slow lately. I got about another 150 or so listings up the other day. So we're still adding to the store, but it's slowed down quite a bit, which I kind of expected. People cherry pick some of the nicer stuff that's in there. And the rest of it just sits until somebody from that family or whatever historical society finds that piece and wants to buy it. But some of the ones that have sold have some very nice letterheads on them. This one's from 1908, Clyde Glassworks. That one looks really, really cool. I've sold a few of these in the past also. This one went for $19.99, free shipping. The next piece here has another great letterhead with a train on it. It is, I think I let this one go a little too cheap. It's from 1900, and it's the Porter Brothers Company. Look at the train on that letterhead. Really great looking letterhead on this one. Nearly 126 years old. Crazy. This one went pretty cheap. It went for $13, free shipping. The next piece, I just listed it, and I think I listed it too cheap. It's an ad flyer for this Truscan Buildings. And I'm not entirely sure of the year, but it is really, really cool looking. And this one went for $15.99 plus shipping. And then last, the Putnam Machine Company, Putnam Tool, consolidated with Putnam Tool Company, railroad machine tools, metalworking machinery. This is an order, it looks like. They're asking for $1.60. It says the price per gross ton of coal is $1.60. I think that's something like a little over $50 in today's money. But look at that letterhead. Really nice looking piece here. I do think I have a few more of these floating around in the shop, or some more that I might even still need to get scanned and listed. This one went to a repeat buyer, $18 plus shipping. None of these have sold for unpromoted listings either. A lot of the store that I'm listing is not promoted, and I may promote it down the road, or I may just gradually lower the prices or throw like a discount on them if they're sitting for months and months and months. That's it for the ephemera store. 4 pieces going out for $66.98. All right, well, I've got a lot of work to do, so this is going to be another short video, but thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.